We made it.
Hello. Well, we have some people in already. So, my goodness me, who have we got? We have got Specs Ahoy. We've got Mandy also. I don't believe we've met before. Hello, pleased to meet you. And we've got Red Wing. Hello again. Hello. We've got Wiggle Tip Chris. Hello. No gremlins in the system, just us faffing about.
Yeah.
Apologies for that. It's usually a little bit on the late side. You can set your watch by it.
Yeah. Witchin meantime.
Yeah, exactly. Just having a having a techie query, basically, wasn't it? So yes. You'll notice that we're both sparkly, look.
Yes.
We are sparkly.
Mine doesn't show up so well at the moment.
Is it not? You've still got them.
I did pull one out accidentally today. Which is very annoying, quite painful.
Sparkle's gone on that side. All on that side.
I just haven't got very good lighting in here.
No. We're sparkly because we've been sparkled, and we got sparkled at Witch Camp, didn't we?
We did. We got little sparkly bits put in.
Yes, we did.
It looks great around the campfire.
It does look great around the campfire, especially when it's so dark and we kind of disappear into the darkness, as it were. And of course you sort of stand up to go and do whatever it is you're going to do, and of course then the firelight catches the sparkles, and then you can just sort of see us shimmering away.
Something like that.
It's out of sight, out of mind. Well, it was really funny actually on the first night. I keep thinking about this particular thing. It was really, really late, and everyone had had a few drinks. Nobody got roaringly drunk, which was quite
good. No, we don't.
But we'd had a few drinks to have a good old chin wag and whatnot. And it got late in the evening, and somebody offered hot drinks, which I accepted. You didn't have one, did you?
No,
I don't think. But anyway, somebody offered sleepy tea, and I thought, that sounds rather nice. I wouldn't mind a cup of that. So I was given a cup of sleepy tea, and of course I was like, oh, thank you very much, and accepted it. And our friend Donna, she burst out laughing. She said, "Oh, you're so witchy." I was like, "What? Oh, how do you mean?" I'm just like, "How do you mean?" She's like, "Oh, my pretties, oh." Hubble, sleepy tea. Yeah, not me for 6. No. Didn't know you could be particularly witchy accepting a cup of chamomile tea, but there you go. Apparently you can.
No, I like the old as well. Fan of the flavoured teas.
Oh, they can be a bit dishwatery, can't they?
Well, I always find that they smell amazing, and yet the taste never quite reaches the heady heights of the way they smell. There's a level of disappointment inherent within the drinking of herbal teas.
Yeah, it certainly can be, can't it? Mind you, I tend to, if I'm doing it for me, I tend to sort of shove the tea bag in and then just leave it there to its own devices and hope for the best, really. But
willing it to have flavour. Yes,
you will.
Just me.
Oh dear. So we thought we'd tell you about some of the things that we've been up to, because it was a witch camp, and we learnt new witchy things, didn't we?
Oh yes, we did. I like it when you learn something new, because
there
are so many things we don't know, and it's lovely to try a new way of stuff you've heard about but never quite gotten round to.
Yeah, and it definitely was that, wasn't it? And of course meeting up with old friends and some new friends, which was lovely, wasn't it? Oh, just love it. And some of those people we've not seen for a year, have we? So
it would be a whole year. Yeah, very much missed. And it's so lovely, because when you meet them again, it's like you haven't really been away, and that's always the hallmark of a good friendship, I find.
I think so. Yeah, you literally just pick up where you left off, don't you? But so one of the things that we were learning, which is not a witchcraft as such, but we turned it into a witchcraft, of course we did, was needle felting. Now, I've never tried my paw at that, and neither of you. You were really smitten with that, weren't you?
I loved it. Stabby with the needle. Very nice, sharp, pointy object. Right at home.
Your kind of pastime, I know. But, so we had to go at needle felting, and what we did is we made some little goddesses. And You found the black sparkly material, didn't you?
I did. How could I not?
There was this
Hello.
one tiny little bit of black sparkly material, and we managed to both cut out, like, work it so that we had enough that we could both use that, and it was the tiniest bit, really, wasn't it? And then we cut out our shapes, and then did blanket stitch round, and then came the pointy stabby thing time.
Which we had to stuff them first. That was quite a challenge.
Oh yeah, that was nice. Actually, it was. Oh, yeah. There has to be a better way of doing it than the way I did it, I have to say. I mean,
I did mine a bit arse about face as well. Oh goddess, yes.
I definitely made a meal out of it. But anyway, so yes, having stuffed the wretched thing, then came the pointy stabby time, which was really nice. And yeah, it was actually really therapeutic, isn't it? I really quite like that. But the end result for me was this little girl. There's the front of her, waving around in the breeze. So that's her front. She's got some leaves at the bottom, but I want to do something more and define them a bit more. So that's her there, and she's got little movable armies.
Arms like that.
Yeah. And then the back of her, she's got long hair, purple hair. I thought I'd go for a spiritual colour. And as you can see, she's got tiny little blanket stitch all the way around.
And you can just about.
So it's a simple design, but when you've got such fiddly, I mean, look how thin that is there. Wrong way, always the wrong way. Look how thin that is. So yeah, stuffing that was quite fiddly. We used those little sticks from
like the coffee stirrers from.
Yeah, the coffee stirrer stick things, and yeah, so we used them. But your one's not to hand, is it?
Well, no, because my goddess wanted to be in the Blessed Bee. She wanted to be in the van, and so she's actually kind of hanging from the mirror, which is lovely because I get to see her every time I go out. Very much similar to your one with being in black, but I had red blanket stitching around the outside of variable quality depending on I'm a bit back to front with sewing sometimes. But what I did is I was really drawn because they had the threads, you know, the woolly stuff of every hue going. So I picked red or sort of an orangey red and a yellow, and I just started playing with it really, because it's kind of like painting with wool, isn't it? It's the only way to describe it. You just add a bit and stab it in and then see what it looks like. You can move it around, and I made these kind of swirls up her back. And then I think at the front she also had some kind of swirl going on.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking,
it's like fire, isn't it? And flames and
it was. I think it was meant to represent a kind of a passion. Things. So that's what I felt it was coming from. But the idea really, I think, with any kind of magic is not to think too much, but to actually lose yourself in the process. And I did, and it was lovely.
Yeah, no, I thought it was great. I really enjoyed that. And I was a bit miffed, actually, because somebody had said, oh, you can buy kits in the works. Other shops are available.
I'm looking at kits. You can get them on eBay as well.
Yeah, I was a bit miffed because I actually took a trip into the works. I never go in shops, but I actually went into a shop. Remarkable. Anyway, so I walked into this shop and I wandered about and got a bit lost and asked the lady, and she said, oh, we did have some, but we don't anymore. And I thought, well,
that's the problem with physical shops. Always.
Exactly. That's why I don't go in.
Yeah, why you don't normally bother.
I don't like them. So, no. So, yes. So anyway, so it's back to the drawing board, and I dare say I'll get something from online. But it was just so funny because everybody was concentrating so hard, weren't they? And you could all just hear this like noise as people are stabbing.
Which and it sounded like a guinea pig.
It did. It sounded like a herd of guinea pigs chomping their way around the lawn, didn't it?
It was peculiar, to say the least. We have a new lurker in the audience, Demorg. What a lovely name. Welcome. Thank you for doing that.
Oh, hello and welcome. We're just talking about stabby things, aka needle felting, because we've been to witch camp and we made some goddesses. This is my one. I don't know whether you saw her before. There she is. That's my little girlie. Can't decide if I'm going to do something else with her or whether I'm going to leave her be. Haven't decided yet. I think the cat's been there too.
Yeah, extra hairs.
I'll just stab them in. You could probably use that, actually. You probably could do stuff if you wanted to, if you had pet fur.
You can, because it'll do the same. You can insert it. What I was looking for today, because I was out at my local charity shops today, because the weather was nice, and I thought I should do it when I could. I was actually looking for like a boiled wool jacket or cardigan, because then I'd quite like to do a design all the way around it that follows the year or a day, or some sort of pattern.
Yeah.
I'd love to do that, but I haven't actually found one yet that I think is suitable.
Yeah. It'd be really cool, wouldn't it? You could have put all sorts of different witchy symbols on it, or runes, or witch's alphabet. You could put all sorts of things on there. Moon phases.
Field day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just have to mind your fingers. You're quite right, Hans. You do have to mind your fingers, and you can get sort of these special pads that you do it on, so that you don't kind of go straight through and spear your own index finger.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be very good.
Yeah. Or gauntlets. You can go to the local factory and ask for some.
Little finger bobs that you can put on so you don't. Yeah.
Or you could just go to the local falconry and see if they've got any spare.
As you do. Hello, Hans. Nice to see you.
Yeah, hi, Hans.
There you are.
We'll talk to you later. Yes, so that was jolly good fun. And whiled away several hours, actually. It was quite long-winded, wasn't it? But it was the sewing up and stuffing of the things that they're not very big, but my God.
Took longer than you think.
Yeah, it did take a while, didn't it? But it was really nice. And of course, all the while that you're doing that, you're putting your intentions in. And the longer you spend doing it, the longer your intentions are being stuffed therein. So, yeah. But, I really enjoyed that. It was good fun. So that was good. And the other thing that we did was opening our inner voice, wasn't it?
Indeed.
I believe that's also called toning.
It might well be, but that was lovely. That was a very interesting way of doing it, because I've done similar things in yoga. Because there's nothing completely new under the sun.
No,
but it was just it was explained very well. The lady who taught us did a fabulous job, and people get self-conscious about actually making noise sometimes. So that was to kind of walk people through that, and the fact that she'd been there herself and found that a difficult thing meant that she got a great place of being able to help other people to understand that sometimes making any kind of a noise, especially what's meant to be a tuneful one, is not always easy.
What she said, actually, which was really interesting and very valid, was that the people that she'd seen doing it, presumably sort of on YouTube or workshops or whatever, and the lady that taught her to do it had a remarkable singing voice. And of course, if you don't have a remarkable singing voice of your own, then A, there's that pressure, and B, that kind of self-doubt creeps in, or I'm not going to be able to do this. The fact is that you're making a noise. It doesn't necessarily matter whether it's in a certain tone or tune or whatever. It's the noise that's relevant, isn't it? Rather than
the resonance with your various chakras and things. Yeah,
exactly. But it was remarkable, wasn't it? And it was interesting to see how the different sounds that are associated with the different chakras have different natural body movements that go with it.
Yeah, and there's a certain frequency and resonance as well. That,
Yeah,
it's very interesting, and I think it's a massive subject that we've only just kind of
literally just the tip of the iceberg, isn't it? But I found that fascinating. Actually, I enjoyed that a lot. Unfortunately, where I'd had some other work done on me, so to speak, last week, there was one particular area which I found really difficult and had to not sit out, but had to sort of come away from a little bit, because it really affected me quite strongly. But it wasn't that the lady that was telling us how to do it was worried that I was sitting out and sitting back because I wasn't enjoying it, or not interested in it, or bored of it, or whatever. And of course, nothing could be further from the truth. I was thoroughly interested in it and got so into it that I kind of made myself a bit poorly.
When you do a lot of work close together, that's the thing.
Yeah,
You can only cope with so much, and you have to be a bit gentle with yourself. But you're
exactly.
not
Yeah.
going to know what
No,
things are going to get sparked off. But knowing
no,
when to step back is probably as valuable a lesson as any,
exactly.
really.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I need to just hold it back a little bit for a while. So, yeah, so that was an interesting learning curve, not just for me, to maybe ask about what it might entail if we're doing something having had some work done, but also it was a learning curve for her. Because, as I say, she wrongly thought that I was stepping back because I wasn't interested. And yet it was actually because I wasn't feeling very well. And again, she said, that she needed to be more aware of, what people are processing and how they're processing things. And so, yeah, and luckily we're really good friends. So it didn't cause an issue. Of course it didn't. But yeah, it was, it was a good learning exercise for both of us, actually, wasn't it? So, yeah, it was good. But I really enjoyed that. And I really felt that I'd learned a lot. And we had a visualization that went with it, which was lovely too, wasn't it? I always like a visualization. Yeah.
Never have a problem with that. Always a good thing to do.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I enjoy those. They're good. So, yeah. And we had a lovely ritual, didn't we? We sort of had 1.5 rituals, didn't we?
Indeed. Yes, we crammed a lot in, let's put it that way.
We did cram a lot in. But the one on the Friday really tickled me. It was actually somebody's 60th birthday.
Oh, it was lovely.
And it was lovely, wasn't it? And, a lot of effort had been gone to, as always, a lot of effort had been gone to A, keep it secret, and B, make it a nice surprise with, all the trimmings. Yeah. And we're all sort of standing in space waiting for the person whose birthday it was to arrive. And she'd been purposely delayed and interrupted and so on to arrive later than all of us in this area, deep in the woods, which was lovely. And we had all these pretty tables set up with flowers on the birthday cake and all the rest of it. And so somebody said, "Do you think we should say a few words?" And the lady that organises it said, "Well, yeah, we're going to sing happy birthday."
Covers it.
That's what it says on the tin. And it does. It says it all.
And it does. And tunefully too.
So, yeah, so that was all really nice. And then we had a nice little feast and a couple of drinks. And we had pink fizz, didn't we? That was nice.
We did. I never say no to fizz.
No, definitely not. Be rude to, really, wouldn't it?
Well, exactly. Never know in the underdrunk. That's my motto. Need that on a t-shirt.
So, yeah, so that was really nice. Actually, I enjoyed that. It was nice. Although it did start getting cold, didn't it?
Very quickly.
Yeah.
It's that time of year. You've got sun. The minute the sun kind of moves, you need 2 layers on very sharply.
Definitely. I'll tell you what, though. It was interesting. We had, where we were camping was right in the middle of, well, at the edge, I should say, of a very large field that had a sort of lake stroke pond, big pond, small lake, in the middle of it. And of course, anywhere that you've got water, you're prone to mist and fog and all that kind of stuff. But it was interesting how it behaved, actually, wasn't it? Because the first night, it came over much, much later, didn't it? It was well and truly dark by the time it came over, probably, 10, half 10?
Yeah, it sort of meandered in, didn't it?
Yeah, it just sort of started rolling in, and you could sort of like see it coming over. But on the second day, it was already there before sunset. So, of course, we'd been away doing our second ritual, which was quite long and very lovely. And, of course, we'd been away. And as we came back, it just settled itself all between all the tents and stuff.
Angle light, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was sort of lurking around. But actually, it sort of wandered off shortly after we got back, didn't it? It sort of felt it basically had enough. And
we got the fire going. I think that made a big difference.
Yeah, we did. Good old Doritos. But yeah, yeah, it obviously decided it had better things to do, and off it went. But it was just different how it completely. Oh, sorry, I've got a hair in my. It behaved so differently on both those days.
Yeah.
But I like a bit of mist. It's always very atmospheric, isn't it?
Oh yes, it adds flavour.
It does.
definitely. We've got a little bit of conversation here. One of our new people here, Demorg, says, "I'm not really Demorg. It's my YouTube name," which I'd be interested to know what your YouTube channel is. And we've got, "I'm Debs Thompson, Orbitorium from Facebook."
Well, hello.
So it's Debs. Welcome, Debs.
Hello, Deb. Hello.
And Frankie Science has found us.
There we go. Hello. And
apartment.
Moving. Oh God, I suppose it's Box City.
Yeah. Hard work, but worth it.
Yeah, I've got to move my son to Brighton. Well, my son's family to Brighton tomorrow, and so I've hired this massive van, and yeah. And apparently, the most tricky thing is going to be to move is going to be their dining room table, because the tabletop weighs over 100 kilograms.
What is it, marble?
Yeah. So I'm not looking forward to that.
You might need a few people to help.
Yeah, many hands make light work and all that. But if it's just me and his other half, who's about 4'9" and size 2, that's.
I'd probably not be moving that. I'd be like, no, sorry.
So yes, so I'm hoping that there'll be several people around that we can coerce into giving it a shove.
Yeah.
The rest of it, sort of sofas and TVs and stuff, and it's not too bad. But
it's bulky, but not necessarily heavy or not too big. But
yeah,
marble tabletop, I think that's a bit of an ask.
It is, yeah. I'm certainly not going to be doing it on my own because it's huge and it's heavy. So
and you'll hurt yourself.
Yes, I will. So yes, I'm not planning on doing that unassisted. But yeah, I might have to have it on the other side of the van to me. Otherwise, it'd be a lot of weight on one side, won't it?
Actually, yes, that would really affect the way the thing pulled. Yeah,
definitely. So yeah, so that'll be fun. So hopefully, Frankie, you haven't got a whopping great table like that.
Yeah, best not to buy marble.
No, God, yeah. I don't know whatever possessed him to buy it in the first place, really, because it's just
a bit ambitious.
Solid, yeah, it's just solid, but still, I suppose he decided it was the thing to have, and well, there you go. So anyway, so Frankie's found an apartment. Oh, that's an amazing thing. Well done. That's great news. Lovely stuff. Brilliant. I bet it's lovely too. Well, it will be by the time you've finished with it, I'm sure. Oh dear. What else did we do at camp apart from have our hair done and drink? And eat, in my case, and eat some more, and eat some more, and some more.
A lot of chatting. Awful lot of chat around a lovely campfire.
They were
great
lovely
campfires. Yeah. There's nothing quite like a campfire, is there? Oh.
No. Have you got hair now?
Yeah.
Passed it over. Sorry.
I think it's an eyelash, actually.
Oh, no, mine was definitely a cat hair. Definitely. They sort of float, don't they? And then suddenly they sort of link themselves up. Either that or a cobweb. One or the other. I was covered in cobwebs earlier. I was out in the garden. And while I've been away, I was only away for 2 days, but while I was away and we had all that lovely sunshine, the raspberries that were not even thinking about getting ripe, when I left them on Friday, were all ripe. So I did a lot of raspberry picking. Of course, that meant an awful lot of cobwebs and spiders and whatnot. So, but the nice thing was, having picked lots of raspberries, I thought, I've got raspberry jam from last year. I could make some more, but it's just more of the same. And then I thought, I'm going to make some magical jam from my magical cottage. So I picked some blackberries, and then I picked some rosemary, which grows right on the corner of my house. And it's about 8 foot tall, actually, this rosemary. It's huge. So yes, I picked some of that. So I've made blackberry, raspberry, and rosemary jam, and it's yummy. So yeah, and I thought, well, you've got certain amounts of protection in there, and all sorts of other yummy goodness in there too. So yeah, so that's what I made this afternoon, as you do. It's like, what shall I do? Make some jam. Yeah,
magical jam.
So I've got magical jam. So yeah, so that was my foray. But obviously it meant that I was covered in cobwebs, and you sort of like battle them all off like you're some kind of karate kid, don't you? Oh.
Just hoping the spider's not still attached. That's the main thing.
Yeah, I know. I've actually brought a few of them in, and brought a few of them back out again. And actually, just before we came on, I had to remove a. I don't know if it was a frog or a toad. I'm not very good at telling the difference. Somebody here will tell me the difference, I'm sure, and then I can forget it again. But either way, I had to pick him up and move him because he was in danger of being either trodden on or kicked or something,
Squashed,
or brought in or squashed, or brought in by one of the cats. So I picked him up and had to move him. So yeah, so it's all go here, really. Actually, I should have left him there. He might have eaten some of my slugs and snails, mightn't he?
Well, yes. Aren't the slugs enormous at the moment? It's great fat things.
Aren't they disgusting? Oh, I had a big snail on my. I had a huge storm yesterday, thunder and lightning the works, and snail decided to take refuge right in the middle of my mat, and the light was off, and I trod on him. Oh dear, sorry, but
it's like crunch, isn't it? It's like, oh
yes, I crunch. Oh, sorry. Much as I dislike them, I don't want to hurt them, but yeah. So I'm one snail down. Man down, man down.
Slugs are worst. You go surfing on them.
Oh God, yeah, you can travel quite a distance, can't you?
And then a good underfoot if you've got no shoes on. Oh.
Oh dear. Mind you, my bigger news is that we came back Sunday, didn't we? And then Sunday night we had a huge storm, and it brought half of my eucalyptus tree down.
Oh.
So it did have 2 trunks, didn't it?
And now it's got 1. Oh dear.
Yes. And all the top branches are leaning on the roof, and it's really, really wonky.
So it's just going to come down and is on your roof, or on the roof for people upstairs, obviously.
Yeah. So at some point, it's going to have to come, like, fully come down, because it's. I mean, we had another storm last night, as I said, and it was blowing again. I was thinking, oh God, it's going to come down today, and it hasn't done. But it's even more precarious looking now. So hopefully that'll come down.
Sort that out.
Yeah. So hopefully that'll be done in the next couple of days or so. But that was a bit of a shock. So yeah. So yeah. But I'm going to see if I can salvage some of it, because it'd be quite nice to. It's literally split off at the base. It's not uprooted anything. It's literally just sheared off at the absolute base.
Oops.
So, but
Hans knows the difference between a frog and a toad.
Let me
Not
have a
a
look.
frog and a frode. I nearly said.
Frogs' legs are longer than their head.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, and body. Frogs' legs are longer than their head and body. Toads have shorter legs so they can crawl. Also, frogs are smooth and shiny, and toads are dry and warty. It was a toad then. It was a toad.
Dry,
So,
water.
Yeah, it's dry and warty. A bit like my face.
No. Surely not.
No, I do have a witchy wart, I'm very proud of it. It's just there.
Ah. I don't. Just hearing it.
Just there. Little witchy wart.
Very delicate.
You can't be a witch and not have a witchy wart, can you?
Well, I haven't got a witchy wart. I feel left out.
No, we'll have to find you one.
What about
You're an imposter?
I know. I'm just not the real deal. Clearly,
you're not the real McCoy. Oh no.
But the funny thing is, there was pictures that were taken of us two sitting around the campfire during the daytime, and even I couldn't tell who was who. I'm like,
it was bizarre, wasn't it? It was really strange, wasn't it? So I sent that photograph to my 2 daughters, and both of them struggled. Actually, it was really quite funny because you were on the left of the photo and I was on the right, and they both of them looked at the photo on the left, or like the person on the left, and thought, oh, that's mum. Looked at the photo on the right, because obviously you sort of scan left to right because you read, don't you, left to right. So they saw the person on the left and thought, oh, that's mum. And then looked at the person on the right and thought, that's mum. Wait, hang on a minute.
Yeah, that old one about being in two places at once. Clever trick.
It was really funny, yeah. But I got both of them. And the caption, of course, was which is which.
Of course. But even I couldn't tell. It's like, that's bad, that is.
I know. And I'm like, that's me. No, it's not. That's me. Yeah, because you've got pedal pushers on and I've got a frock. So, yeah. So, yeah, even the legs were in the same angle and similar flip-flops. Exactly, literally. Yeah, it was just so funny, yeah. But it was quite funny towards at the end of the camp, though, wasn't it? Because we were the very, very last two. And, yeah, everyone else had gone and all the tents had been packed up and everything else. So it was just this field, and my car was packed up and your van was packed up, wasn't it? Yeah. And so we were just sitting in the field on our own, on our thrones, because we've got these, well, you've got these high-backed black
chairs. They are a bit throne-like.
Yeah. They are a bit throne-like. So there we are, sitting in the middle of this field on our own, on our thrones. Like, it's my field now. And down came the ravens, didn't they?
They did. We had great visitation.
Yeah. Oh, God, it was great. So, yeah. But what I forgot to tell you was that, obviously, you buzzed off and I went and visited the toilet block.
In the bee.
And in the bee. And I visited the toilet block and came out and luckily had decided to not put my directions home on the sat-nav before leaving the actual field, and thought I'll do it after I've been to the loo. And luckily I did, because it was at that point I realised that I'd dropped my glasses in the field.
Oh, so you had to go back. Oh.
So, yes, I had to go trundling back in the field and obviously not drive too far into where we were camping, because I didn't know where I dropped them, in case I ran them over. And then spent 20 minutes looking for the blooming things.
Oh dear, no.
I found them.
Yeah, good.
And there they were, just sitting there waiting for me to pick them up. So, yeah, I was lucky. But it took about 20 minutes of wandering backwards and forwards, cursing a bit, like you do. And
there
they were. It was like, oh.
I want to go home.
Yeah, it was a bit irritating, really. I was like, here we go. Back to the field. Hooray. And then it really was, it's my field now.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. But it was, it was just great, wasn't it, actually? I really enjoyed it. It was such a good camp. Really enjoyed that.
Yeah, just so lovely to not work, because for me, if I'm in my home, I'm going to be working, and you really can't when you're somewhere like that.
No, you just have to switch off, don't you? You've got no option.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need that enforced off button, don't you?
And also because it's not like you're on a family holiday where you're having to look after other people.
No.
You just like, no. Do I want something to drink? Do I want something to eat? No. That's it.
I might do, might not. I don't know. Yeah. Or in my case, yeah.
Yeah.
Mind you, we did eat our weight in couscous on the Friday, didn't we? It was one of those things. We were all told, apart from the lady whose birthday it was, we were all told to bring a picnic, and everybody had obviously decided that the couscous that they'd bought an excess of during lockdown 2020 was clearly getting out of date. So there was about 3 tons of couscous on the table. It was groaning underneath the weight of couscous. But it was nice because everyone had done something slightly different with it, hadn't they? There was about 6 or 7 different lots of it, wasn't there? 7 different lots of sausage rolls.
I did kind of drown it. Oh, world's best sausage rolls. I did kind of drown it in that wonderful jackfruit curry, which we have the recipe for now.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. Was lovely, wasn't it?
I am going to make that.
Yeah, definitely. No, it was really tasty, that. I enjoyed that. But, yeah.
And whoever made the sausage rolls, and who now escapes me, they were still warm, and they were the most amazing things.
Yeah, she made them with chia seeds and, oh God, what were they?
It's bloody marvellous, whatever it was.
Yeah, it was chia seeds and something. We'll have to ask her for the recipe too.
Yes,
She's a new friend of ours, isn't she? New friend.
Indeed.
So yeah, I love making new friends. It's lovely.
Yeah, yeah. I forgot you hadn't met those two before. Yeah, good fun.
Yeah. Because they were. I think they were at the camp that I couldn't go to when I was seeing my daughter. I think, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah, because I just think I went to one that you didn't.
Yeah, and I think it was then because I think I went to go and visit Natalie. So yeah, I think it happened then. Because it was slightly later in October, wasn't it? So yes, that would tally.
Yeah, they're lovely ladies.
But yeah, it was lovely. But mind you, having arrived, I don't know whether they thought I was you, and they're like, "Oh, it's lovely to see you again." I'm thinking,
quite possibly.
Yeah, probably.
I did tell you that someone mistook me for you, and I really hadn't the heart to disabuse them.
Yeah, it was down at my woods, wasn't it?
Yeah. I just thought, well, it'd be too difficult and embarrassing now, so I just kind of went along with it. I thought, surely you can. Oh well, anyway.
No, well, I mean, I hadn't seen him for it must be at least 2 years, so I suppose you can easily understand that because we're similar build, and yeah, exactly. And there you are.
And I was the one stood there, and obviously I belonged to the house.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but
did make me laugh though.
Mind you, when I moved, the estate agent was busy chatting to you, wasn't it? A few years ago. Do you remember when I moved from the big house?
Oh yeah,
and, the estate agent was busy chatting to you. It's like, I think you ought to have a word with my friend, really. But
I think you need to talk to Becky. I wouldn't mind, but I didn't. My hair wasn't quite as dark at that time. I was like, oh,
no, it's quite funny, really. But yeah,
it is funny. But even our cats get confused, so
exactly. Yeah,
much to expect a human to grasp it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, she's gone round the corner. Are you coming to say hello?
Got kitties.
No. I shall consider myself told.
Oh.
I got one of those.
I was sitting downstairs quite quietly earlier on after having had some dinner, and Tinker is sat on the arm of the chair next to me, but he's doing that thing where they face the wall. It's like he's not done anything wrong, but he's basically got his bum out and I think Maximus Furball didn't see him, so he came flying up and jumped on my lap and was all ready to get cozy, and then all of a sudden he noticed that Tinker was there, and he was like, shh. It's like, well, if you hadn't made so much fuss, really, it would have been fine.
You could have got away with that, definitely.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes they just suddenly noticed.
Yeah, they're funny, aren't they? They really are.
Silly, very silly.
Yeah, very silly indeed. Very. Oh dear. So yes, it's been quite full on this last few days, really, hasn't it?
Well, is it nice? Delightfully witchy.
Yeah, it has. Mind you, what wasn't so witchy, of course, was driving around trying to find blooming fuel. I didn't enjoy that and still haven't found any, but there we go. Yeah,
I managed to get some on the way down. On the way down to camp, because I actually thought I wasn't going to be able to go. I thought if I can't get any at this place, I can't chance going on, because I was down. My blessed bee is quite thirsty, and I wasn't totally confident. I just thought, well, I'd get there, but would I get back? And I couldn't risk it. So super worried. I'm trying to minimise driving at the moment. I'm deliberately not going out in the car if I can avoid it. Just until things get a little more sorted.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like Friday. I've got going to visit my old lady, and I thought, well, I've got babysitting, and then I go and visit my old lady, and then in the morning, I've got a drumming thing, and then I'm going to see my old lady again in the evening. And I thought, well, I'll just stay at my daughter's because she's only around the corner. So I thought, well, I'll stay there, and that saves me a 45-mile round trip that way.
It's a lot of petrol.
It uses fair. Well, it doesn't actually, because it's an economical little car.
But it still drinks.
Yeah, exactly. But obviously, it uses some, and it's 45 miles that I can do without using. So and hopefully I'll be able to get some, but pain really. But yeah. So but my witchy senses weren't working, because when I was coming back on Monday, I thought, I'll sort of take a different route home and see if I can find somewhere. And tried 25 petrol stations.
Blimey. You've got a lot of petrol stations your way. We haven't got that many. That's the problem.
No, it's not even my way. It was literally what would normally be a 22-mile trip. I actually did 35 miles to try and find a petrol station.
Oh, no.
And there weren't any. So that's a bit worrying, isn't it? So we'll see.
Well, they've got to get supplies at some point. It's just when you turn up, isn't it? Is that?
Yeah, it's that potluck thing. But yeah, so but anyway, that's that. But you kind of like, yeah. So I need to put myself in the right mind space before I go and get this van tomorrow, so that I'm not going to have a problem with that either, because that is a worry too. So yeah.
Do they not send you off with the full tank if you're hiring a van?
You're supposed to. The person before you is supposed to return it with a full tank.
With a full tank. Mm.
And so therefore, when you return it, you're supposed to return it with a full tank too. So it,
Yeah, but it might not be practical at the moment.
Exactly. So I'm not quite sure how that's going to work. As long as I've got enough to get there, I can worry about it afterwards. But
yeah. Oh, Debs is saying that she's got a Tinker Cat too. I think it's one of those names, isn't it? It's quite widespread.
Yeah,
mine's a very long, tall tabby cat.
Yes,
he's a little bit silly.
A stripy fella.
He's a big stripy fellow, and he's a real dope. But you've got 8 others. Oh my God! Someone's got more cats than you, Bex.
Wow!
When was the
9?
other 8?
I did have 9 at one point. Fairly briefly, but I did have 9 at one point.
That's a difficult lap situation. I mean, how's that ever going to work unless you lie down?
On all the chakra points plus. Yeah.
An appropriate cat for every chakra point.
Now there's a thing. Can you imagine going to the rehoming or rescue centre saying, I'm missing an orange one. Have you got an orange one?
I need one for my base chakra. Not a suitable candidate. Oh, there you go. 3-legged ginger. There you go. There's your orange one.
Oh, there you go. Oh. Right, let me check. Oh, too slow. Are you coming this way?
Escaped your clutches.
Are you coming this way?
Mine aren't in here, actually.
Looks could kill.
Out. Ooh.
Oh, dear. What was that look for? What did I do to deserve that?
Wow.
Well, I'm not in the good books, apparently.
No.
Oh, I don't know, actually. I think I might be redeemed. You know that really soft black blanket?
I do.
It's on the chair. She's looking at it.
Oh.
She's eyeing it up. 3, 2, 1. Oh, she got an apple. False start there, sorry. Oh dear, yeah. She seems to have a sore toe, actually. I don't know if she's got a thorn in it or knocked it on some of the stones out the front. I'm not quite sure. But it's sometimes they wash it more and it's sort of poking out more because it's obviously sore. She's not washing it all the time, but it's a bit of a, I don't know, it's obviously
it's irritating her. Yeah.
It's obviously bothersome at some point.
Oh, Chris has had good fun there. Wicked witch.
Yeah. So what does Chris say? Fueled, as I was unintentionally a wicked witch, suggested to a friend she diluted her petrol to make it go further. It wasn't until she asked me if the ratio was about a pint of water to a gallon of petrol that I had to point out the joke.
Can you imagine?
That could have been disastrous.
I don't think you'd be going very far if you tried that.
God dear, you would not have been in her good books if she'd actually gone through with it.
Guilty friend, clearly.
Oh God, that would be awful. Wow.
Oh, and Deb said they had 10 cats up till 6 weeks ago.
Wow.
Oh, and technically they do have 10, as they sponsor one in Latvia. You can sponsor a kitty in Latvia. Oh, how sweet.
Wow.
Wow, Kitty Central.
What a nice thing to do.
Yeah.
That is a nice thing to do. Wow. Wow. How lovely. Oh, I just love them. The more the merrier. As I said, I did have 9 at one point. But of course, eventually they dwindle, as you know. So, yeah. So, yeah. But 9's the most that I've had. The most that I've known anyone personally have is Laura. If you're watching, Laura, hello. And I think she had 12 or 13 at one point. I think she's down to about 8. I think she's down to... Oh, hello.
Oh.
You coming to say hello? Dish first.
Dish dance?
Clearly. No need for the dish dance.
It's full.
It's full. And he was like there, straight there as a... Yes. No stopping on the way through. No pausing.
No, you didn't need to stop because it was already there.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, so Laura had 12 or 13. I think she's down to about 8 or 9 now. But, yeah. And it's funny, when you've had so many, when you have even a few less, it seems like you've hardly got any at all, or it just doesn't seem a lot at all. It really doesn't. So, you know, and I sort of went from, over a relatively short space of time, I went from 9 to about 5 or 6. And to me, that was, oh, God, I've only got 5. You know, it was like, yeah. But other people, you got 5 cats. And, yeah. So, yeah, it's strange. And now I've only got 3. But, of course, for the majority of people, they're like 3. And, of course, I did have 4 up until March. But,
you did.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's washing that toe again. You can't see anything on it when you look at it. I'm wondering if it's one of the splinters from where that tree came down.
Will she let you have a closer look at it when she's relaxed? No, yeah. Okay.
Not unless I want her toe up my nose, which I don't especially know.
Right.
Yeah. They're quite sharp, cats' feet.
Well, their claws are pretty damn sharp.
Definitely sharp feet. Yeah. Actually, to be fair, they're really good. And they will let you look at them and give them tablets and all that. They're not scratchy, hissy, scratchy cats. They're just not. They're lovely. But then obviously, you know, she just wriggles and he's like, get off. So, yeah.
Leave me alone.
Get out of it.
Oh.
What do you think you're doing, person? Yeah.
Deb's just said you can try something called Anicura if she's over grooming it. I don't know what Anicura is. The gel, not the spray. Oh, okay. Just have a little look at that. I've not heard of it before.
No, I'll look at that. Thank you. Yeah. No, I'll have a little look at that. I might sneak up on her a minute, see if I can catch her. Bunny. Oh, we've got a bird. Hello. Oh, you'll do.
Well, we're all in. Oh.
Ready, and...
Oof. Look at that face.
Look at this bird.
Look. He's not looking very impressed.
Oh. No. He's a good boy, though. Aren't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's lovely.
Aren't you? A little Felix cat.
He is. He's got a Felix face.
Was that horrid, was it?
It's like, did he do that shaky claw thing?
He did that like... Oh, that's disgusting. Always on their terms.
Always.
And that was not on his terms, definitely. And there was no tuna involved either. So there we go.
Makes a difference.
Oh, dear. Did you do anything for the actual solstice in the end?
Equinox?
Equinox, sorry, beg pardon.
That's right.
Yeah, 3 months ago. What did you do? No.
What did I do yesterday? It's like, no.
So, yes, for the equinox. Yes.
For the actual
did you actually do anything yourself in the end?
I spent some time in the garden with the moon. Really did a little bit of just I didn't get much time to myself, as you can probably imagine. So I literally just went and sat outside for a bit and was with nature.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing more specific than that, really. It wasn't a huge amount of time. But
Yeah.
it's funny now, I feel that we have done that flip over. It's kind of like gone.
It really
Sunday,
has been a
Sunday
big
night
flip.
for me, it really felt like equinox. So
Yeah. It was a really big flip, actually, wasn't it? Because we'd had
yeah,
that last hooray, hadn't we, of summer, and it was really, really warm actually while we were away in the daytime. It was lovely, wasn't it?
especially the first day, the Saturday.
Yeah.
Friday and Saturday. It's a bit cooler on the Sunday.
Yeah. One of our fairer friends, she was cooking actually. Gemma, she was cooking,
Yeah,
and she had various pink splotches to prove it.
she's incredibly pale, though. To be fair,
But yeah, she's very, very fair skinned, isn't she?
yeah.
But yeah, so she'd been putting cream and factor 50 and everything else. I said, you must have missed a bit. But yeah, but as you say, it was nighttime. But since then, I mean, we've had sunshine and showers today, but it's really been the whole, like, you can feel the chill in the air, even with the sun out, and you can feel the warmth of the sun. But you
It's
can feel
definitely
the chill in
changed,
the air.
hasn't it? We
Yeah.
didn't have
And
any
I've
rain
got,
today at all. It was lovely, but as you say, just not that warm.
yeah,
Yeah.
we didn't have very much rain. It was a sort of a quick 20-minute shower. Actually, it was a 20-minute downpour. And it was just as my washing reached that perfect dryness.
Yeah, typical. Yeah.
I was thrilled.
Delighted.
Oh, good. But yeah, so we did have that. But no, it's just, and I'll tell you what, I mean, I always like it really quite chilly and quite cold. I prefer it that way because I've got various internal heaters and things on. But I actually put the heating on for about 5 minutes today just to take the edge off. And I've got like a little fan heater thing, and I put that on today because it was just freezing. Really was cold, and my feet felt like blocks of ice. And it's like, wow, that's not like me at all. So either I'm changing or it's just plain cold. I'm not one or the other.
It's not overly warm, but yeah, maybe
Yeah.
you're not quite as heat generating as you were.
Yeah, maybe not. I don't know, but it felt really cold, really cold. But yeah, but I rather like this time of year. I like the mists and sort of getting into the snuggly clothes, and quite like that actually.
Yeah, it has a nice feel.
I like all the seasons though. I do. I don't think I've even got a favourite. I've not got a least favourite, and I haven't got a favourite. I just like them for what they are.
Yeah, and what I don't like is a lot of grey and just dull, dark days, because that's a bit depressing. I like to see some sunshine.
Yeah,
just to remember it's there.
Yeah.
But
Those
yeah,
days, I always think you've got a complete lack of weather when it's just cloud and nothing going on. It's just an entire lack of weather.
it's
Nothing
bland.
at all. It's like, do something, rain or hail or blow or something, sunshine. But no.
Yeah,
Didn't get
dramatic
those
weather's more fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was the thunderstorm that I had yesterday was really dramatic, and again I had it right in my front window, so I got all the lightning and stuff, and I had one of those rare purple lightning bolts go across. You don't often see them, do you?
No, wow.
So yeah, I've only seen a handful of them, but I had one of the purple ones. I think it was about the second or third crack that I saw. And it was proper purple. It was lovely. I'm sure there's a scientific reason for it being purple, but it was lovely. As I say, I've only seen it a few times, but it was. Oh, hello.
We didn't really get a thunderstorm. We just had downpours yesterday evening. Oh, hello. Oh, hello, fishy.
Bit silly.
He's very silly.
His face. She says you're very silly. So I'm not silly. No.
He's so cute. He's like, what are you doing to me, woman?
He's like, no, I need the dish. I need the dish.
You're
Please,
keeping me from my
throw
supper.
it there. I'll show you where it is. Say hello. No. Go on then.
Yeah, I think hungry is what he is there.
He's always hungry. Not as always hungry as Bert, I suppose, but yeah. So, but yes, they're all in now. And she didn't get on her blanket. I really thought she was going to get up on that blanket, and she's decided not to. I had the boys on it earlier, but she's decided that got a nice new piece of carpet to sit on. Can't wax it. So there we go. So have you got any plans, witchy or otherwise, for the next week or so?
I'm trying to think. Where are we? Wednesday. I haven't made any firm plans at the moment. I'm hoping to get some time. But, I haven't got any firm plans apart from little things that we're going to be doing soon. But major works not at the moment. Not unless requested.
Yeah. I've got I'm planning for my moot, which is next Tuesday, petrol willing. So I've got that next Tuesday, and I've been requested to talk about energies, which I think would be an interesting topic, isn't it?
Big subject.
So, it's a bit of a can of worms, that one, though, isn't it? Because obviously once you start talking about energies, it just goes off at 1,000 tangents. So and it's like, but it'll be quite an interesting thing to think about and stuff. So so that will be the topic of that, and it's one of those things. Obviously, I need to write some notes and pointers down to keep us on track of talking about that rather than going off tangents and things. But
because you're going to get a lot of anecdotal and subjective experience, and it's all going to be very different, just depending. You've got energies of place and of people and of can go anywhere, can't it? That one.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that'll be quite interesting. We haven't discussed that. We always discuss, have a specific topic and usually do a spell, not always, but usually do a spell associated with what that topic is. So that'll be quite an interesting thing, as I say, because we've not specifically dealt with energies before. So I'm quite looking forward to that. I think that'll be different.
Interesting to see what comes up.
Yeah. So I just need to get my head round it and get a few things down on paper, so at least we've got starting points and things. So I'm quite looking forward to that. That'll be a bit different. Obviously, tell you about that next week. But so that'll be something different. So Hansy's saying that she was at Stonehenge for the solstice.
That's amazing. Yeah,
interesting place to be, definitely. So Hans was at Stonehenge. Not a sky in the clouds weather.
I do like that phrase. That is brilliant, Chris.
I like that one.
It is. It's just like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, a day of it you can brook, but you get to 2 or 3 days and you're starting to thinking,
come on, just a little bit of blue, just a bit, or a bit of wind, or a bit of something. Bit of something, and then Chris goes on to say she had a good storm there last night, but all the lights off and enjoyed the pyrotechnics. Absolutely. It's just it's brilliant. I find it so energizing. I love thunderstorms. I just love them. I really do.
Absolutely brilliant.
As I say, there was this certain amount of trepidation because of my tree, and it's a whopper, isn't it, that tree? And I was thinking, oh God, please don't come down now. And in fact, whereas I normally have all my doors open throughout the course of the day and evening until I actually go to bed, it started blowing, and I was that bothered about the tree that I shut the door.
Keep it out. Really?
And in my mind, I know this might sound really daft, but in my mind, I thought rather than having a hole where a tree could maybe just crush it, it just offers it that little bit extra support and maybe it won't come through. Maybe it'll just be enough to stop it coming in. I don't know.
There's logic in there somewhere, but I'll be damned if I can find it.
That doesn't explain why I decided to lock it as well. But so you're not coming in tree, no.
Careful now.
But I was bothered because it was really windy. And I was saying, oh God, half of it's come down already. And and it was a whopper. So much bigger than the house. About 1.5 times the size of the house, do you reckon?
Just big and heavy and annoying. I mean, the thing is, you're on the ground floor, so at least there's a layer. between you.
There's a layer of collapse before it gets to me. Yeah,
There's a layer of someone else's flat.
But
Yeah.
where my door is and my porch and stuff's right underneath. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I see what you mean.
So yeah, it's like, yeah, go in, lock the door. That would be fine.
Shut the world out.
It won't bother me. The door's on the latch. It'll be fine. But yeah, I've got designs on some of the because obviously it's been, the trunk's been kind of chopped because it went obviously right across that footpath thing, and so it's been sort of cut into very large chunks so that the tractors could still get up there and so on. But I'm thinking I'm going to, and it's up for grabs, so I'm going to have some of that and do some crafty bits with it, I think. So that'll be quite nice. But yeah, we shall see. And failing that, when the big one comes down, because the trunk that's come down, so it was 2 trunks pretty much the same size, and so like joined at the absolute base. But the one that's slightly bigger is the one that's still standing. There's not much in it. It's only about 1 inch diameter, probably. There's not much in it at all. But the slightly smaller one's the one that's come down. And the bigger, precarious one is the one that's looming towards the house. So, yeah. But as I say, there'll be plenty for the pickings that I can get some nice bits and do some crafty stuff with it. So that'll be quite nice.
You want the person who turned up with the chainsaw to actually make some nice slices for you.
I've got my own chainsaw. Thank you.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry, madam. Every house would have one.
I know. I got it for my birthday.
Figures.
In 2019, I think it was.
Every girl needs.
Yeah. And it was really funny. I was talking to my daughter-in-law, and she said, "So what did you get for your birthday, Becky?" So I said, "Oh, I got a chainsaw." And she went, "So what did you get?" And so I said, "No, I got a chainsaw." And she said, "A chain with what?" And I was like, "A chainsaw, with cutting down trees and things." She's like, "What, really?" And then she's looking at my son like, "Is she joking? She's really weird, your mum."
Yep.
And she's never quite sure if I'm joking or not. And it's like, no, she probably got a chainsaw. So yeah. So I shall go out and attack it. And yeah. Every self-respecting witch should have a chainsaw, you see. So yeah.
I fail again. No wart, no bloody
no chainsaw. Well, call yourself a witch woman. See what we can do.
Oh dear. Yeah, well, maybe I've got a handsaw, but I nearly took my thumb off with that, didn't I?
You did. Yeah.
It's all better now.
Not to be trusted. Not to be trusted.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Well, on that note, I suppose we ought to say toodle pip.
Let everybody go.
Don't do any more damage. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Oh dear. Anyway, we're back next week. Are you around next week?
I believe so. I don't think I'm aware anyway. Let me double check.
Have a look. Make sure you're about.
Pretty sure I am. Calendar. Yeah, I'm here.
Ah, fabulous. Oh yeah. Not too unusual. Wibble check. Chris says, not too unusual. My daughter asked for a soldering iron for part of her 18th birthday present. Yeah, exactly. My kind of girl. Yeah, exactly the same. Yeah. I like candles. So anyway, on that note, we'll say cheerio to everybody, and we'll see you both We'll both see you all next week. And have a great week. Be as witchy as you can. Make the neighbours talk and all that. And remember, it's Halloween this month coming. Not long to go now. I love it. Oh yes. Yes. What is the date today? Is it the 28th or the 29th?
29th.
Oh yes. So it's October, the day after tomorrow.
Yes. It all gets fun from there on in.
Oh yes, indeed. I have a pumpkin already. You've got to see this pumpkin. It's gorgeous.
Isn't this the one you've had for ages?
Yeah, I've had it since last year.
Exactly.
It's a real one.
No worry, Deb. It's nice for you to join us.
No,
It is a real one.
That for a beaut. It is. It's an actual real pumpkin, but it's your stereotypical pumpkin shape. Look, isn't it beautiful?
It's very cute.
Yeah, and I've had that since last year on my shelf, and I can't bear to cook it or eat it. But it hasn't.
It's good now, to be fair.
Do you know what? It's got no. It's probably fine. It's got no sort of parts where it's drying. You can't hear the seeds inside.
No, it looks perfectly sound, doesn't it?
And it's it's got no
pumpkin.
Yeah, it's got no it's got no issues of nicks that can get any mold spores or anything in it. So yeah, it probably would be fine to eat. Not that I'm going to eat it because it's too beautiful, but
no, it's too pretty.
Yeah, when I got it, it was still multicolored, so it was still sort of greens and yellows and bits of orange. And it obviously over the course of the year, it's turned itself completely orange. But it's gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely.
My beauty. Yes. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to be having pumpkin pie with it or pumpkin soup with it.
No. We tend to put one outside the house to let people know that we're sort of Halloween friendly, if you like. But I mean, my son can't go out doing trick-or-treating anymore. He's 6 foot, and it would just be like demanding.
It would horrify everybody, wouldn't it?
Well, it'd just be threatening, wouldn't it? If that lurched up to your doorstep.
Give me a sweet. Okay.
Here you go. Take them all.
Have all of them. And the television. Yeah.
Yeah, so no, sadly his trick-or-treating days are over.
Oh, bless him.
Oh, it's so sad because they enjoy it. He likes Halloween.
Yeah. You have to find some smaller children and get him to take them out instead. Let's borrow some.
Let's just borrow some small
children. Borrow small children. I've done it for years. Just borrow small children.
Yeah.
I've always had spare children around. You know that. So yeah, just borrow some, and then you can send him out as a chaperone, and then he gets the, he gets the experience without the call of the police. So
yeah. That's that true. Trickle petrol. There we go. I like that. Trickle petrol.
Trickle petrol. Yeah, I might try that.
Runs around with a jerry can.
Yeah. Or cauldron. Yeah, cauldron, jerry can. Cauldron, jerry can. Oh dear. Anyway, we're really going now. We'll see you next week. And enjoy the 1st of October. Get yourselves all sorted. We should expect to be hearing from you what your plans are for Samhain. So there. Anyway, we'll see you next week. Cheerio. Awkward wave. Toodaloo.